everybody, and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I'm sure we can all relate to, and that is anger and frustration with pretty much everything. You know, you go to work, you do your job, you do what you're supposed to, and you're still stressed out, you hate your boss, you hate your coworkers, all that kind of stuff. And I thought to myself, you know, how do I relax? What do I enjoy doing? And one of the things I really like is to play games. I really love board games for one thing, so what I did is I went ahead and made my list of the top 5 games to play when you're upset. I hope that you enjoy. So the number 5 game for me is a game that I really enjoyed, mostly because of the theme, and it is Monkey Lab, right? This is a game that came from AEG, which is the same company that made Thunderstone, another one of my very favorite games now. And in this game, you get to play as a monkey who's trying to escape lab. And it's pretty cool. Basically, you have to go and you have to bust out all of your friends from their cages. You have to use all the little tools around the lab and all that kind of stuff. You have to go and I don't know how you use a microscope to pick a lock, but somehow they let you do that in this game. And it's really, really fun, and essentially I like it for when I'm frustrated because it's a really light-hearted, quick game, and like I said, it's a fun theme, it's easy for people to pick up, and it's just really cool to play. The second game on my list, or at number 4 in this case, is actually one that is not only a board game, but originally a card game, and that is Munchkin. I have a little bit of Munchkin. So Munchkin is one of my all-time favorite games, simply because there are so many different ways that you can play it. There are so many different combinations of all the different cards, all the themes, not to mention the actual board game Munchkin Quest, which I unfortunately don't have. But the reason that it's on my list today for games to play when you're upset is simply because I love the humor. The humor of Munchkin is absolutely hilarious. It's a game that makes fun of gaming and just, you know, nerddom in general. And specifically, the initial ones made a lot of fun of D&D and other role-playing games, like tabletop games, which I'm a huge fan of. So I just thought it was really hilarious to see all that kind of stuff in Munchkin. And there's really nothing better when you're really upset to have all these cards, and somebody's fighting a monster, and they're just like, okay, I won. Is everybody okay with that? And you're just like, no, plus 10. And they're just like, yeah! And then you can laugh because now they're upset instead of you being upset. And also, how many games can you say you got beat by a potted plant? Not very many. And this is one of them. My number 3 game is actually more of a genre of games, or more of a group of games. And just as a sort of example of it, I've got Dominion. Dominion is one of the quintessential Euro-type games, the European style of gaming games. One of the other ones that I enjoy playing of this type is Power Grid, because this is more of the game where it's less about directly attacking somebody and more about, oh, you were going to go and do that? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, well, I did it instead. Basically. And that's the kind of thing that I love about Euro games. It's a lot of fun for me. Just like the little backstabbing stuff, and with Dominion particularly, obviously, it's a deck building game. So you get the little cards that have the various attacks where everybody has to discard 2 cards or discard 3 cards, or you lose money, whatever it happens to be, however the card works. And it's just really fun to play because, similarly to Munchkin, it's a game where you can upset other people while you're upset. So at the very least, misery loves company, right? So that's why Euro games as a whole are my number 3. before, there are actually two games, and I'll go over the first one, the main one, first, which is Labyrinth. This is an extremely complex game from GMT Games. Right? It's really, really fun. It's actually about the war over in Iraq and Afghanistan, the war on terror that was going on, and that we are only now just pulling out of. And this game is actually really fun, and I love to try and play this when I'm upset, simply because it's so complicated. I know that might seem like it's a little bit backwards, but that's really why I enjoy it. It's so complicated that it really just takes my mind off of everything else that's going on in my life. Like, I forget about the stress of my work and my coworkers and all that kind of stuff, and just everything that I have to do just sort of melts away because I can play this game instead. And it just makes it really nice. And one of the great things about this one in particular is GMT added in solo rules so that you can play by yourself against essentially an AI partner that's programmed through a mind map. And like I said, as the second game to that is Twilight Struggle. This is the first game that GMT Games made of this style, which is the same style as Labyrinth, where it's only a two-player game, it takes several hours to play, and there are a lot of little details to keep track of. But again, it's a lot of fun, and it's something that I enjoy because it takes my mind off of me being upset. And it's just really great in that sense. Both of these games are. Last, but certainly not least, absolutely not least, is my all-time favorite game to play when I'm upset. It's not technically a board game, but it goes on my board game shelf. It's more of a party game, but it does still have a lot of strategy involved with it. And that game is Cash and Guns. This game is incredibly fun. And it's one of those games where the more people you have, the better it is. Because you literally sit around a table and you have, every person has a little gun. You all have these little foam guns, and you get to point them at each other and go and just shoot at each other. How is that not an amazing game to play when you're upset at anything? You can't be upset when you're pointing guns at one another, even the little foam guns. It's so much fun, and it's so weird and random and awesome. And the whole point is that you're all trying to get money. You're a group of bank robbers that just finished robbing the bank, and you're trying to split up the loot as evenly as possible. But you're criminals, so you're trying to rob each other. So in the end, you just get to point at all of your friends and try to get them to surrender all of their money. And the person who has the most money at the end wins. Like I said, it does have elements of strategy, though. For example, one of the things that you can add to it, or one of the mechanics in it, is the police officer. You can have somebody who's actually an undercover policeman, and you have to sort of figure out who it is, or try to at least. And it just adds sort of another level of intrigue and mystery of sorts to the game. And unfortunately I don't have it, but there are several expansions to this, one of them being the Yakuza, which adds tantos, swords, as well as shurikens, the little throwing stars, which is really fun. And it also has a shotgun, I think. I know there's also an Uzi one that was added, but just a great game to play when you're upset, because it's just similarly to Munchkin or any sort of Euro game, it's a great way to take your anger out on all your best friends, but the nice thing is that they get to do it right back at you. So it's a lot of fun to play in a big group. And with that, that is my quick little video on my personal top 5 games to play when I'm upset about whatever it happens to be. And in this case, these are all just games that I happen to own. And later on, I'm going to be making more videos that include games that I don't have. But in the meantime, I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I will see you later.